Now, the next question is coming from simultaneous inequality. All we have to do is this. We have to make S, we have to collect like terms for the first one because they gave us two equations. So all I will do is to carry this 5 over. So what we have is S is greater than or equal to 8 minus 5. So S is greater than or equal to 8 minus 5 will give us 3. And carry this 13 over. So we have S is less than greater than or equal to 7. Carry this over, that becomes minus 13. So your S is greater than or equal to 7 minus 13. That will give us minus 6. So if you look at this, between these three, this is less than or equal to 3, and this is greater than or equal to minus 6. Now, let's put it in inequality form to get the range. How do we get the range? Since 3 is bigger than minus 6 is smaller, so I'll write down minus 6. I will take this sign now because this sign is facing here. I will take the opposite of this sign, which is like this, which is less than or equal to. Then I will put X, and I will bring this big one down with the sign, the way it is, doesn't change. Then I will take the bigger number down. So this is the range of value that satisfies the inequalities. Now, if you look at this function, this is the graph, and this is the equation of the straight line connecting P and Q. So anytime you see something like this, the first thing you need to do, understand that this thing now becomes x squared minus 3x plus 2 is equals to y. So this is a function. So since this is equals to y, whenever you have equals to 0, know that this 0 part is y. That is to say y is equals to everything here. So since this is equals to y and this is equals to y, that means this is equals to this. So what we have now becomes x squared plus 4 is equals to x squared minus 3x plus 2. At this point, the x squared will subtract the x squared. So what we have left is this. So we have to carry everything over to this side. So this minus 3 crossing becomes 3x. This plus 2 crossing becomes minus 2. Remember, this plus 4 is already here. You bring it down. Plus 4 is equals to 0. So at this point now, what we have now becomes minus 2 plus 4. That becomes 3x plus 2 is equals to 0. So this is the equation that is looking at, that is connecting the P and Q. Now, the next question is coming from variation, which is under inverse variation. If you look at this, they say that the length is directly varies inversely as the weight. When the weight is 20 and the length is 1.5. So we need to get the constant. That is to say that L is equals to K over W. This is the constant of variation. Now let's put the value. They say when W is 20 and L is 1.5. Here becomes 1.5 is equals to K divided by 20. So at this point, take over 1 and cross multiply. This time this, our K now becomes 1.5 times 20. And this 1.5 is the same thing as 15 over 10 times 20. So this, we cancel this. So your answer, our K, constant of variation is 30. So the answer will give you 30. At this point, this is simultaneous equation. So what we are going to do is to carry this constant over to this side and carry this over to this side. So what we have here now becomes 3x minus 5y equals to this cross, it becomes minus 5. Why this part? We have 4x minus 7y equals to minus 8. So we call this equation 1 and call this equation 2. Now we're going to take the coefficient of x in equation 2 to multiply equation 1. Here now becomes times 4. And take the coefficient of x in equation 2 to multiply equation 1. Here will become times 3. So at this point, this time this will give us 12x. This time this will give us minus 20y. This time this will give us minus 20. This is equation 3. Now 3 times 4 is 12x, 3 times 7 is minus 21y, equals 3 times 8 is minus 24. That is equation 4. Now all we need to do is just to subtract. You say equation 3 minus equation 4, which is 12 minus 12, is gone. So this minus times this minus is plus. So we have minus 20 plus 21. That will give us y, equals to this minus times this minus is plus. So minus 20 plus 24 will give us 4. So our y is equals to 4. So we now say substitute for y in equation. Let's take equation 1. Equation 1 is 3x minus 5y equals to minus 5. So at this point, anywhere we see y, we are going to put the 4. That becomes 3x minus 5 bracket 4 equals to minus 5. So this becomes 3x minus 5 times 4 is minus 20 equals to minus 5. For the minus 20 to cross over becomes plus 20. That becomes 3x is equals to minus 5 plus 20. So 3x will give us 15. So when I divide here by 3, I divide here by 3. So my x will become 5. So therefore my x is 5, while my y is 4. This is the solution. Now this question is coming from sequence and series, which is under GP. Now you're asked to find the common ratio. So this is the first term, second term, and third term. And according to the GP, we say that your common ratio is equals to T2 divided by T1. And also your array can also be T3 divided by T2. Now at this point, since array is equals to this and array is equals to this, that means this is equals to this. So therefore, our T2 is n, which is n over T1 is n minus 2, is equal to T3 is n plus 3 divided by T2 is n. So let's cross multiply. This times becomes n squared equals to, this times will give us n minus 2 bracket n plus 3. Let's expand. That becomes n squared equals to, this times becomes n squared. This times becomes plus 3n. This times becomes minus 2n. This time becomes plus 6, that is minus 6. Now at this point, this n, we subtract this n's out. So plus 3 minus 2 will give us n. So 0 is equals to n minus 6. Now the next I will do, I will carry this minus 6 over to this side. So therefore my n is equals to 6. Now since we are putting our n as 6, but don't forget that arrow is equals to n over n minus 2. So our n is 6 divided by n becomes 6 minus 2, which is 6 divided by 4. Let's break down. This will give us 3 over 2. So our common ratio is 3 over 2.